Hey Ringside Crew. Welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hey, hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and today I have an awesome wrestler that I'm adding to my wrestling German Hall of Fame. Walk of Fame, I would say Walk of Fame makes it look cooler. Like I'll put little imaginary statues as I walk through memories. But this young lady is blazing a trail for herself. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside podcast welcome to Nicky Foxley. Welcome, Nicky. Welcome.
Hey, hi, glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. Awesome. This been so many awesome German wrestlers that have paved the way for this Dudes at Ringside podcast to make it so awesome and somewhat well known all in Germany. I hope more fans, since you've been watching since now the episodes will be live on YouTube, that your fans could go on over and learn about me and watch more about me and know more. So my fans, my American fans, if they're not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Nicky Foxley. I've been in the wrestling business or training since 2016, 15, 16. I had my first match in 16. Yeah, I had a small break due to an injury, but I've wrestled in all the big leagues in Germany and also in Italy, Switzerland, in Austria, and yeah, I like to have apocalyptic fun.
Awesome. So who trained you?
I trained in Switzerland in the same school that Cesaro or Claudio Castagnoli comes from. And then at one point I switched to Germany to the school of Aaron Insane, who is from WXW. And right now I'm training close to Nuremberg with some people from my home promotion, IWI EV.
Awesome. So when you went to your first training in Switzerland, you said,
Yes.
was it difficult because you're a German wrestler and you were going to Switzerland, or did you just feel like, meh, just like day of school?
Well, I was living in the border to Switzerland at that time, and it was the closest school. And I mean, we speak the same language. The Swiss people don't like us particularly, but after we showed up 2 or 3 times, they saw that we're serious and they started, I think, respecting us. Liking us would be a little bit too much, but we get along quite fine still with some of those people. So it wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, that's the crazy part of wrestling. Like, if you're not from that area and you couldn't find anything about you, and you have to gotta go to an opposite country just to train, like right up to the border, gotta go, like that. So, what was the toughest thing you had to do for the first few days in your training facility?
Running up and down the stairs.
Oh, jeez.
My training facility was in the top floor of an old factory building, and it was like 6 flights of stairs. And just for cardio training, we had to run up and down the staircase with tires, with bricks, with stones, without anything, like 2 or 3 times with each item, and it was horrifying. it was so awful.
Oh.
And we did this every week.
Oh my gosh. You must have, your legs must be like that, must be like even walking 2 feet like the next day. If you had to go grocery shopping, you were like, oh, someone get me an electric cart. My legs are broken.
I've never been that happy to have a desk job. So at least I could sit at work. But my partner at that time worked in a grocery store, and he had to be on his feet the whole day, and he was just dying. So there was no gym for several days after that.
Oh. So let's fast forward. Let's fast forward a little bit. What was your energy like the first time you went through the curtain for your first match? And were you wearing any of your gear, or did you just have like light gear that you would have worn now?
I certainly didn't wear the same stuff back then. I was more leaning into the whole fox thing and into more Irish folklore stuff. And I was basically just wearing, I don't know, we don't have a store like that here, but basically Hot Topic adjacent stuff. So it wasn't really
Oh, you
wrestling.
guys don't have Hot Topics in Germany?
No, no, we
Oh
have our
gosh.
own.
If I had the money,
We have
I'd be
some
like, I'd just
fancy
be like
stores.
sending you boxes of Hot Topic merch. I feel that makes me sad.
Oh, you should. My when I was still a little emo cat, I would have loved it, but I had to craft everything on my own, which is why I still do that for my gear now. But yeah, I was so nervous because it was a match my trainer at that time organized against his girlfriend, and I'm from Germany, she's from Germany, he's from Switzerland, and the first match was in Italy. So
Mm.
it was just a whole different thing, 6 hour drive, and then we had to go through the curtain. It was the popcorn match right before the main event, and it was supposed to be at 10, and it was 12 or at midnight, and it was a very interesting experience. But we both live and we're still friends, the my opponent and I, and actually we're a tag team now. So
That's so
everything
cool.
worked out. But yeah, I was nervous as hell.
Awesome. So do you remember what the first song you used when you first debuted?
Oh yeah, it was some it was Fiddler's Green, or from Fiddler's Green, which is a German band that makes Irish folk music. I think it was one of their older songs. I don't know which one expect particularly, Folks Not That or something like that.
Mm. So how long did it take you to make that hat? That hat is fire.
Oh, thanks. Is a project over several months, I guess, because I just bought the hat and for Carnival, I think 20 years back, and I just added a lot of shit to it. And whenever I find something, this is a chainsaw chain I found in the forest, so I just stitched it onto it, and then I found a deer skull and added the antlers, and yeah, whenever I find something, I just put it on here like those little bullets. And
Have
yeah,
you ever
it's
found the little
fun.
arrows that look like like when you go to this, you go in the woods and you find those like little sharp rocks? We call them crocodile teeth, but like
Ah,
make it look like the like a bow and arrow, like one of those little arrows that the Indians used to find it and sharpen it and like you,
an arrowhead, yeah, made of
yeah,
flint or something. Yeah.
yeah.
I think, well, I use everything I can find. I have like a jar this high full of bottle caps. I just plan to use on something. Like there are bottle caps on here, and I just spray paint everything and make it dirty.
You know what you should do? You should get
Hmm?
go to like a consignment shops. I don't know if they have any consignment shops in Germany, but go and find like a trench coat and do like a Becky Lynch thing and put like the bottle caps around on the arms and the shoulders and do them all
Um,
across the back and have them shape your name in bottle caps on the back.
I actually want to do that with a blue construction worker overall, but yeah, I haven't got the time for that. It was summer until last week, so I was mostly outside. But now that the spooky season is beginning, I'm feeling very crafty again.
Yes, that's
So
the
I will
fun part.
surely do that.
I like that. I'm like that little girl. I love Halloween. Bats. I love bats.
Bats,
So
cats, everything spooky.
yes,
Skeletons.
in America we have our in Florida they and in California they do Halloween Horror Nights over there. So
Yeah.
so cool. It's so cool. I went 2019 and then COVID hit and I was like, "Oh, not going back. Can't go back."
Uh,
Yikes. So,
yeah.
my fan I know I have a lot of people that I've told about you and a lot of my wrestling fans, and they always ask me the same thing, and I ask, like, "W what how long did it take you to come up with this name and this gimmick that you have of, like, of Nicky Foxley? Was it something that it was built into something else? You said lore. So is it like is Nicky Foxley further back in the Irish lore and stuff like that?
Well, I studied there for a semester and I just really fell in love with all the mythology of Ireland, with all the gods and deities. And well, Nicky is just the nickname of my real name, and I'm a big fan of Mick Foley, and I love foxes. So this was just like coming together, and this was just my first impulse. And my trainer said, "Do something you like," and I was just returning from Ireland, and I was like, "Yeah, I do really like that." And at one point, another trainer said to me that, yeah, foxes are more mean, you should be more mean. And then it kind of developed into this heel persona I really dove into with my tag team partner. And at one point, we just were very, it was around Corona as well, when we became like the laughing stock of our of our promotion. Like, oh, what should we do with those two? They're always doing the same, we don't have any other female tech team for them. And then we decided, okay, it's time for something completely new. And then we turned completely to the Mad Max stuff, which I think is a little bit easier for me because I don't have to be fully evil all the time, but can be a little bit crazy and funny as well. And I tried both things. I was a face for the first, I don't know, 20 matches, and started dabbling in being a heel. I became a heel at full time. And right now I'm working more as a tweener, and it's just the most fun because you can listen to the audience, see what they want, if you want to if they want you to be more evil or more good, and then you can just play to that. So it was
So,
really development, everything.
so is it easier now that your partner is almost in the same like same mold from your kind of characters? You said you don't have to be so evil. Like, let's talk about her. Like, what does it feel like to have a tag team partner that you could look at her and go, man, she gets my spooky. Like, what does it feel like to have someone that understands your kind of spookiness with your character?
It's pure magic. We had our first match against each other, or my first match against each other. We had several matches against each other, and there was just so much chemistry and so much, for me, so much fun to work against her. And then we just thought, yeah, but we can combine our moves just perfectly. And when I turned heel, it was just, why not work together? It was just a match made in heaven. She's Tyra Gates. She's at that time she was the devil's favorite demon, and it fit perfectly. So we were just like two crazy chicks from hell.
Hmm.
And right now she's still more into the dark side of the apocalypse, and I'm more into the person that went totally mental when everything went to shits kind of way. But it's great because I'm the fun one, I'm the more technical and sneaky one, and she's just, okay, no, I just want to punch people.
I
And
would love to
it's
have
just
her on the
perfect
podcast.
combination in my in my eyes.
Yeah, I get that. I'm dying to have her on the podcast after we're done. Definitely, when you get a chance, please hit her up and like message her because I definitely would love to have her come on Dudes at Ringside. I was hoping to have you guys together to make it like really even cool because I love interviewing tag teams because it's like at the wedding when they have the persons back to back and they raise their hand and be like, well, who does this more? Like, yeah, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. uh, do you ever guys like since like tag teams like going back to like lore of the tag teams like the Rockers, one has this color tights and it looks like similar. Do you ever guys ever like try to match in a certain way but make it look different in like some looks to people?
Yeah, well, we have our own styles. For my first few gears, I always wear checkers or plaids, and she was more the rivet and very short shorts kind of girl. And then we just kind of matched our colors. So as a tag team, we wear mostly black with some red accents, and right now we're just covered in dirt. So, well, with the whole wasteland aesthetic, it's quite easy to piece us together.
Yeah, I pretty much if you came to my small town in Pennsylvania, I'm like Joe, where are we gonna find gear? I'll bring you to one of those like hard those when you go out in the woods and you camp like those camping stores.
Yeah.
I'll just send you into one of those stores, and you'll come out like tons of bags. Be like, we made it out. He bought everything in the store. The guy just putting the clothes sign on the door on the door. Good night, everybody. Good night, ladies. Enjoy your gear. Welcome to Pennsylvania. Like,
But that's every time I go into the hardware store, I'm like, yeah, I just need pipes. I just need pipes. Oh, look at this and look at this and this bag, and I could do something with this hammer, and it's a nightmare.
you'll get she'll have like that stuff that they put on the person when they're going hunting for deer, and you'll come out with a new hat, a new jacket.
Yeah, I also raid our flea markets here for everything military and stuff like that. So I just repurposed my partner's old military clothes. It's very fun.
There is a military store in my town, really tiny one, but you'll be like, I need to go over there. I heard it was military. It's real military, not like GI Joe military, like real stuff.
It's like
Yeah,
bullets.
yeah, real bullets. I don't know if you could take a bullet and then hit and chop it in half. It may blow up. Like, oh no.
Well,
So
I hope they're empty because I'm
yeah,
banging them together all the time.
you never know these days. People bring things back to those like antique stores thinking they're dead, and then the person gets hurt because someone takes a bullet and forgets, and they slam it, and they, you know what I mean? Like, oof,
Oh
yeah.
well.
Ugh.
Well, luckily we have regulations for this here,
Yeah,
so
we
my head
hear,
will
but
not
some
go
people
off.
don't pay attention. Like, so with it being,
Charming,
I know,
dangerous,
kind of scary.
charming.
So with it being spooky season,
Yes.
that was me. Like, what would you say would be your top 5 favorite horror movies, or like, that was me again, dingers. My
Hey,
opposite
mine is in
universe
silence.
podcast is talking to me. Rain, it's time for dudes at ringside, not ghost head nerd talk. Stop it, mama. What would you say would be top 5 favorite Halloween like stuff to do in Germany? It could be like the houses, or it could be the hay rides, or like the one night movies thing they would do. Like, what would you say would be your top 5 favorite things to do in Germany around Halloween?
Well, for sometimes I was in a carnival group that is based on the Krampus tradition from Austria.
Ooh,
I don't know. There was a movie a few years back about the Krampus, so I think it is known in America
oh yeah.
by now. We have the masks here on the wall, by the
Ooh,
way.
that's cool.
um, and we went to an amusement park who had these haunted attractions for around Halloween. So those are always lovely. It's like the whole amusement park is transformed into a haunted house. This is nice. I love watching horror, or well, not horror movies, but scary, creepy movies like The Witch or Midsommar, who just give you this really icky feeling without jump scares. So this is always nice. I have a little witchy streak. So for a few years back, and especially during Corona, I just went into the forest with a few girlfriends of mine, and we did witchy stuff, which is always nice and fun. And well, I like baking, and so and for the fifth, there is a new thing we have since like 2 years back is that the local zoo here has a Halloween event, and we went there 2 times, won the costume contest, and I think this year we are going to be there as scare actors. So this will be
Cool.
very very fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I like watching scary movies and going to haunted attractions. Unfortunately, we have corn mazes here, but unfortunately, they are just for children. They're not scary at all. So this is a little bit
Virginia is
disappointing.
weird because in
It's just
America,
walking through. It's just walking through and distinguishing different kinds of grain, and I'm like, yeah, wow.
I'm
it's
so
it's more of
excited.
an
All this
autumnal
rain.
thing.
I'm like, oh god, it's like worms. Ah, I can see you going, no worms. Ah, but they're all looking at you like it's grain. No, it's worms. No, like
Yeah, yeah,
because
it's sadly it's very very kid friendly and yeah more autumnal than
you
Halloweeny
gotta come to the
over
States,
here.
Nikki. You gotta come to the States. In Pennsylvania, we have tons of spooky mazes here. Like we have one in Scranton that's called like the Psycho Maze, and it's 3 different mazes, three or four or five different mazes, all in one like area, like one building, and outdoor mazes, indoor mazes, like scare stations, like uh, it's like I hear that and I'm like, Like they add like the sad music with the tears on the screen. Like bring my screen closer. Bring your like the sad music. Bring
In the
Nikki to
arms
the
of an angel.
yeah, bring
Yeah.
Nikki to the America to have her get spooked and help with spooky stuff here. Bring her
No,
here.
that's actually one of our plans or goals. We want to go to an American typical small town just for Halloween, just to experience the whole trick or treating and haunted houses at least once in our
Oh my
lives.
God, Nikki, you would be in like awe. My town that I live in, they closed the streets off and everybody just walks through the streets in their costume. It looks like something in New York.
Aw.
It's so
I
cool.
ever since I watched movies like Hocus Pocus or Trick or Treat, I want to experience this one day.
It's so like you'd be like, oh my God, families are dressed up. Like I saw The Simpsons one time. I saw Family Guy one time. I saw Ghostbusters.
Aw.
Of course. Like Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers all walking together. I'm like, okay, where's Chucky? no little kid dressed like Chucky.
No kid, no little
No,
ginger.
no little junior dressed like Chucky. But I did see a little kid dressed like Stewie, so I was like, that's pretty cool.
Mm. No, but I'm really jealous. Are you familiar with Dracula and the Boulet brothers?
That sounds familiar, but I'm not too sure.
This is there are a couple of drag queens who have their own like drag competition, like Drag Race, but
Hmm.
spooky and
Ooh,
filthy. And they have a podcast where they always talk about horror movies. And around this time, they're talking about all the haunted attractions they're going to. And
oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yay, you're
They've
so
been coming up
lucky.
on they've been coming up on my For You page on Instagram, and they're at a haunted thing, and the ghost goes fat, and she goes, "Who are you calling fat?" Like
Yeah.
I think that's
Oh,
her.
I love
I
them.
think I can't remember, but yeah, definitely you got to come to the States. Um, if if my fans want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
Well, just look for Nicky Foxley. I'm that on every platform. Well, I'm only on Instagram mainly. My Facebook post page is mostly deserted, and I quit Twitter after Elon Musk took over.
Me too.
um, yeah, but I also have a very ancient YouTube channel, but I think the latest videos are all in German, so this will be very boring.
But when I get clips for this one, I could give them to you, and you could post them on your YouTube channel.
Sure,
Yeah. If
but
my fans want to buy any merch of yours, where can they find it?
actually, I don't have anything at the moment. There was a very prominent German wrestling merchandise store, but they kind of didn't tell you when they sold something of yours, so I quit there. But we're working on something for the new season next year. My tech team partner and I. So maybe there will be something. Well, look out on Instagram. That's the easiest way to find anything from
All
me.
right, and I'll also share it on the Dudes at Ringside story, so you know there's me again. Oh, no more fans. I
Yeah.
know you'll be able to talk to the wrestlers soon. Um, I want to thank you so much, Nikki, for coming on the podcast. It was so awesome to have you on. I'm so honored to add you to my German Wrestling Wall of Fame. Before we go, if there was any young wrestling fans that wanted to get in the business like you are, what kind of advice would you have for them?
Um, do nothing that doesn't feel right, because especially if you're young and a girl, there are many people that try to take advantage of you. But you will know when something doesn't feel quite right, and there are always people, especially the older ones, the veterans, female and male, that will have an open ear for you. So don't do anything you don't like, and most of all, try to have fun, because what's the point if it is not fun? So, and protect your knees.
Oof.
If you're older, you will try to you will find out that they're very special.
Yeah, they're very special to you, and not being crippled and have to be in a wheelchair. You know that's bad.
Yeah.
Also, thank you so much, Nikki. I'm Joe Panther the Third.
I'm
Your
Nicky
turn.
Foxley, and thank you so much for having me.
No
It was
problem.
a pleasure.
And happy Spooky Wrestling Month here on Dudes at Ringside, and have a great week. And we will put the hat back. Make sure you put your hat back on. And we will catch you in the next